One way to compare fractions is to rename each fraction so they both have the same denominator. For instance, let's compare 1/5 and 2/3. A multiple both denominators have in common is 15. We can multiply 1/5 times 3/3 to find an equivalent fraction with 15 as the denominator. 1/5 is equivalent to 3/15. If we multiply 2/3 times 5/5, we can find an equivalent fraction with 15 as the denominator. 2/3 is equivalent to 10/15. Now, since the denominators are the same, we can compare the numerators of the renamed fractions. 3/15 is less than 10/15. So, 1/5 is less than 2/3. You can use fraction strips, number lines, or benchmark fractions to justify your comparisons. Here we can see with our number line that 1/5 is indeed less than 2/3. There are a number of ways to compare fractions. Finding common denominators is one way to compare fractions.
As a reminder, we can also use cross multiplication to compare fractions. Let's look at 1/5 compared to 2/3 again. With cross multiplication, we can multiply the 5 times the 2 and get 10. And then we can multiply the 1 times the 3 and get 3. Notice how we put the products above and to the sides of the fractions. Now we can compare 3 to 10. 3 is less than 10, therefore 1/5 is less than 2/3. Going back to the lesson from Pearson, when we find a common denominator, we get those same numbers. 1/5 times 3/3 equals 3/15, and 2/3 times 5/5 equals 10/15. 3/15 is less than 10/15. That's why cross multiplication works. Feel free to use whatever method works for you on the following questions.